Uh, yeah. Let's not make a big fuss of it. Let's just work, right? I want to make sure that things work. Yeah, that's always the sticking point. But I'm going to jump straight into it. Yeah, let's go. And if I did like this, would that in fact make things work? Question. Seems like it gets a little tiny bit easier every time. So I don't stall before getting things in place. Seems that way, but you never know. Hey, what's up? So we have Resurrection. That's what we did last time. And I got almost all the way and I finished it off stream, so I'll keep an eye on it. But it's good because there's a number of pearl effects that are in place and it's good. So when we drop a pearl, it does good things. Now, I know it only looks like we were at like what, 5 or 6 of 64. That's crazy, but A, we only have 32. B, these are literally the main powers that pearls do, and they kind of repeat and in different combinations going forward. So I picked these on purpose. For example, we did second chance last time. This is resurrecting a card, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I even tweaked the visual effects a little bit. Excelente. So now, Ice Drop is the next one we're doing, and it is a freezing effect. So the opponent cards are prevented from advancing or attacking. Well, there's two things there that we're working on separately. Long story short, for a battle cycle, they will not advance, and implied in that is they will not turn over. I think that's true. And they also won't attack. So, funny thing, I do have them prevented from advancing. That works. Again, with our prototype battle script handling these things, there's complicating factors. Our advancing cards towards each other is dependent on both sides of that lane. Both cards march towards each other and both sort of have individual checks. So I'm hoping that that will make it easy. And then there's the do not attack stuff. Preventing from attack is also something we want other pearls to do. So let's figure this out. And I think I know what I'm doing. Here we are. By the way, this is the end of Resurrection. And I'm already thinking about how to clean this up and make it more streamlined. But the idea is we do check what's going on in the battle while cards are attacking. This seems to check often enough. It's hard to test that. It does go by quick, but also it's hard to tell if this is something I can do. Well, let's just say it's tricky. It's all right. What I do have is this check happening quite often while the pearl drop called Ice Drop is in effect, it's going through and checking what's going on in the battle data and literally saying, um, among the cards that are being that are meant to attack right now because of the battle order turn, is that one of the cards that I'm looking at? Because the ice drop is looking at the opponent cards. So if we're supposed to skip the attack, this should catch it. That's the plan. And if found, it is just going to advance the turn in battle. I have a number of questions about how this is going to work because the battle script has an order based on the card's speed. Who goes first, who goes second, this is the battle order. And then it goes in turns. At the end of the turn, that's one battle cycle. Okay, this is what the prototype battle script has been doing the whole time. I'm coming in and saying, oh yeah, just skip one. I'm detecting that it's one of the cards that should not attack. So skip, and that's what this is. I'm also currently detecting that it is at the very end because that's tricky. I can't say be at the length. This is out of range, and that's an error. And I'm not exactly sure I can let it sit there either, because what if this is an opponent card at the end of the battle order? The prototype battle script will allow them to attack, I think. I need to sort of analyze this a bit further. Right now, though, I'm just saying, well, then go ahead and reset the battle turn to the top of the thing. Now, this is something that the battle script does itself. This is sketchy enough. Doing this is actually probably a problem. I'm expecting this to be a problem. The battle script is supposed to handle this data exclusively, and by me advancing this is tricky. By me resetting that back to 0 might actually break stuff. So I don't know yet, but I'm logging to see what's up so I can see when this is checking, when it's skipping, and if it's at the end. So I should be able to tell. So the pearl drop, this ice drop pearl does two things. It freezes them and prevents them from moving, which is a separate place. And then it prevents them from attacking. And this works, actually. I have an extra hook. I did modify the prototype script because this is dead simple. I could just say, don't advance. And then I unfreeze it. And this works great. I want to not do this as much as possible, but I am recognizing when it's just simple, I should just do this. This is a special thing that would never happen in the prototype script. So yeah, modify it. But what I'm not doing here is preventing it from flipping over. When cards advance towards each other, they flip over. So I wanted to review exactly where that is. Here's the prototype script. Somewhere in the universe here, there is add to battle. There it is. This might not be exactly what I'm thinking about. This is literally managing the data, but I believe it's right around here. Yeah, this is the hack we needed to do, which has to do with, whatever. I'm not talking about the hack. The fact that I have a hack to talk about is sad. But when we add to battle is an example of when it should be turned over, and it does so at the end of this advance towards each other. So I'm going to find where that is. Blah, blah, blah. This is so janky. Look at this. I am looking to see if the name display on the card is turned on. Because if it's not, it has not been turned over and in battle. This is the kind of janky stuff that's in this prototype script. And, well, at least it's just in one script, but it's this whole thing needs to be refactored. And this did its job. I'm not going to complain. It's done its job in terms of finding our way to the core gameplay, and that's great, is why I don't want to touch it. But when I come back, I'm going to refactor having much more information about what it needs to do. Okay, so I'm going to focus on this card flipper because literally that's what it's designed to do, is flip over the cards. So, here's me adding the prevent advance flag, which I just added, and then I use here, and that's it. So it was relatively straightforward to just say like, can we prevent the advancement of cards? And this is it. So it's not hard, but I do want to keep in mind that now this is a special hook to the Perl effect manager. All right. Somewhere in the universe, I actually say flip over, and I'm not seeing it actually. No, 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 no. I'm looking at this. It's the specific variable is called flip up. There it is. To flip up. New cards to flip up. No, 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 no. Yes, determine if new cards will be flipped over. This is happening at the beginning of the next battle cycle. This is talking about the distance between them, right? So cards have not flipped up yet, and that's what it's looking at. Okay. So, where do I say, yeah, do it? Okay. Ensure cards flip up. So this made sense when I was doing the prototype script. Otherwise, the battle kind of stops. So in terms of what this Perl does, right? When I'm trying to affect the enemy cards and prevent them from advancing or attacking, implied in there, as I say, is flipping up. So they don't advance. But also, if they happen to be close enough to the opponent, I think I'm gonna say don't flip over. Instead, this code that we were just looking at should allow our cards to flip over. What that would do in battle is allow our cards to engage with neighboring cards before they need to engage in their own lane. This is a huge advantage. I think this is proper for this Perl effect. So I want to try this. I believe our cards are going to just act as normal, and I believe I can prevent the opponent cards from flipping over, and that will do what the player would expect it to do. That's what I'm hoping. So I want to ensure that I can individually affect whether or not this is going to flip up. And my first thought is, can I just set this to false on the cards that I'm affecting as the ice drop, right? Because if that's true, if I could just do that, that would be great. So, I mean, first of all, saying card flip up false will also turn it back down if it's up. So here's the thing. I actually need to say, if you're prevented from moving, right, then don't flip up. In other words, if this literally is the only place that I say this phrase, flip card up equal true, because that means turn it on, flip it over. And that is the only place I do it. If that's true, then I should be able to do this. You found it in battle. In other words, it is engaging. Or it is, how do I say this? It's in battle? Ooh. So the data says it should be flipped up. Darn it. Okay. This might be another thing I need to handle then. It is literally in one of the hands of the players. I'll have to think about that. I'm already questioning whether I can do this without screwing it up. But I think if I say this is the only point when we actually flip it up, then I can prevent it from flipping up, and those that are already up stay up. I think that's safe. Let's see. Yeah, so it's not going to flip it up until it knows it should be in battle. And so it looks for it in battle. And if it is in battle, oops, I need to deal with this, right? Because our battle data reflects which cards should be set in a battle order. They reflect which ones can attack. And they should actually be prevented from being in battle entirely if they're not flipped up. So I actually need to take them back out of battle. Yuck. I think I do. I think I need to say, yeah, they're sitting right here in this deck in the battle data, but please remove them. Put them into a deck reserved for the cards in play only, not battle. Ooh, I don't ever do that, and I wonder how messy that really is. Otherwise, suspending them from attack. I mean, yes, we're already doing that. Um, but they can be targeted because they're in battle. Yeah, this is ugly, actually. This is really messy. That one wrinkle is making a big deal. Well, I want to see if I can, again, I want to see it prevented from moving forward. I want to see if it now also prevents it from flipping over. It will likely be attacked while it's flipped down. It's not supposed to. But I want to see if it can also be prevented from attacking. So let's see. The data wrinkle that I'm thinking about is probably going to be a problem is this. Let's see, there's second chance. Okay. Ice drop is the one we are working on. This should freeze cards. So as we it's too small. Okay, it doesn't matter really. So we advance. By now, the battle data is populated. And here's what's going on. Well, I mean, not the battle data, excuse me. This data has been changed from cards in hand to cards in play. These aren't in battle yet, but they are actually moved into battle. And so what we're seeing is, as they are advancing, they're checking to see if they should be put from here into here. And then they are flipped over because they're detected that they're already in here, and they should be flipped over. Oof. So I will not do it this way when I refactor. But right now, I'm trying to see, is there a clean way I can do this without messing with the script and get this to work. First things first, drop this. So they should be frozen. What's this? Why? Oh, this is like, I don't have any cards in the battle order yet. Is that true? Yeah, I don't have any cards in battle order, so I need to validate this before I use it. I'll do that. But it does prevent them from moving. Our cards flip over, and they just freely attack, and that's so that's wrong. So our attack checks are happening. Have we unfrozen the opponents? No, we should. Okay, so that was also happening before, and it's not. So I'm just going to stop this test. Let's fix that issue. It's trying to access something that does not exist. I should really only be doing this routine, which is a while loop that I should be careful with. I don't want to get stuck. Should only start that while loop if this has any data to check. Which is like this. Battle data, and we just want to see if this exists first. If this doesn't equal no, and the length is more than 0. So if these conditions are true, this is a true thing and it does its stuff. If not, it will skip it proper, because we don't want to do this unless there's some data. So, okay. I'm not convinced, actually, that this go through battle order, and we're actually look at the battle order where we are right now, and now go through all the cards we're supposed to affect and see if that's the same index. Yeah, if this exists, that should be okay. Advance the battle turn, again, this exists, so that should be okay. Yes. So let's try it again. I guess we should show off the progress on this thing. I need to cheat to get that cooldown done, and there we go. Now, it does not matter what I lay down. I'm just trying to see what the other cards do. If I advance, a couple of cards turn over, and that's fine. So a battle cycle has gone through, some cards still to advance, and this one should totally be attacking. Cool. drop. Oh, that's called a while loop freezing. That's what I meant by you need to be careful about while loops. This and used to be that engines were a bit smarter, and if it was over, I don't know, 100,000 loops, it would stop. I'm not sure why they took that out. It was a really handy feature. But this literally is locking up the application. The editor running the game engine simulation is doing what I told it to do, which is do this over and over again and never stop. In other words, I'm just going to pause this for a moment. I'm going to kill this process and restart it. Yeah, that's fun. So you know how it goes. Sometimes things like that happen. What happened? What happened? I have to think about that. Yeah. Let's try this again. So, well, again, what we were just working on is this, and so apparently this is wrong. If this doesn't equal null, the battle order has some cards to do battle, then this is true. And here we are doing it. I mean, here's what I normally do. I should have just done this. Right? Because that literally prevents the garbage that we just saw. It will do this, and right. Yeah. But this said, oh, there's battle data, and we saw it. There were two cards in battle. They were fighting each other. So cool. Which one are you on? I'm on, well, mine or yours. There were only two cards in the battle order. And oh, let's say I go first and you go second. Oh, it's this. This is the dangerous thing I should not do. So I think I have a dilemma. If I don't if I do this reset it to 0, I think I am able to have the infinite loop. I'm positive I can. If there's only two cards, me and another card, and the other card's prevented from going, and I detect that and I advance it, it comes back to me. Whoops. It should stop the battle cycle. Oh, do I have access to that? Hold on. Do I have access to, say, what is called skirmish end? Skirmish end, battle end. What is this? Skirmish end. What is that called? I don't know if this is a public variable, in fact. Well, I suppose it is a local and not a global variable at all. Kind of makes sense. Bruh. Yeah, I'm dealing with a prototype script. This is not going to be well thought out or convenient. This integration is going to be painful no matter what. Okay, so let's do this. We have a safety break in place. This won't freeze. Yay. Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you're watching the VOD, congratulations for making this far. And wow, I know there's at least 1 or 2 dozen peoples viewing these VODs. Thank you. Remember to subscribe. Come over to Twitch. Make yourself known. Show up on stream. You can help us make this game, but also, it's fun. I believe this won't hang anymore, so that's good. Let's do the exact same thing we just did. Let's get them in battle. Trading some blows. 1, 2. And now drop. Thank you for not hanging. Just want to make sure it didn't say safety break. Okay. And it is checking. It's gotten a real problem with this. Why? It can't even access this? Because it's out of range. So I'm telling it, yeah, skip 1. Actually, here it is. Skip. Oh, and I'm saying go to 2. That's what I mean. I have 2 choices, and both of them will cause a problem. I am at length, I'm at 2, and this is causing the problem. Now, technically, I have completed. Hold up. This is ready. No. Um, I think I see an issue here. First of all, we aren't actually in battle, right? I haven't clicked this button yet. And so any kind of checks right now shouldn't be happening. Okay, so there's one thing I assumed I could do that I'm finding that is not going to happen. So I don't think I've done too many of these attack things, but this was something I wanted to try. Can I just skip? And the answer is no. Like this is kind of what I need, but it's going to cause the problem that we just saw. Right? Now this still says it's out of range. Why is that? Turn 0. In fact, do that one. Let's skip to the next one. Yeah, we should be doing this at all because we're not in battle. Okay, that one should not have been attacking at all. So really, we got a big old problem. This way that I thought maybe we could just skip the battle order and then that card wouldn't be triggered to attack. That's garbage. This won't work. We can forget about this error. This is literally an update error with Unity. So what does this mean? And we're not unfreezing because these are done. So these turn over, and that's great. But these are still technically in battle. So lots of things need to be fixed. Let's start with here's what I hope happens in terms of the advancement. the cards are frozen and prevented from flipping over, but mine can do that. And so they do. They advance a little bit and flip over in range if the other card had advanced. It's kind of weird, but it works. And then when they're unfrozen, I expect the opponent cards to advance. I know they would if we could get to that point where they're unfrozen. And then when they're close enough, they flip over. At that point, battle should continue, and I think that's probably going to work fine. So the two issues that I'm now looking at is this way of preventing attack is not going to work. And I probably need to ask the prototype script to prevent the attack. I guess that's not terrible. This is so special, and I've tried to get around it, and I don't think I can, so it's okay. In the same way that I say prevent advance, I'll have to deal with that. And then the second problem is this battle data reflects that the card is actually in battle. That's why the ones that weren't flipped over were still attacking and being attacked. If I'm preventing the opponents from attacking me, I am not preventing them from being attacked. So they should be in the battle data. They should be in battle, actually. That's a good question. If they are in battle, do they still advance when they're unfrozen? I have no idea. We're going to find that out. I think the answer to this is no. First of all, that's a messy thing I don't want to try and do from here to the battle data on the prototype script. I don't think I want to mess with that. I already tried some tricky stuff that failed. And I don't want to do that method from here anymore. I think I need to say, this is a special case. And when we need to do this, let's just ask the card to not attack. I think we can do that. Here's the thing. We're already saying there's something on each card that we can reference and prevent it from advancing. Yeah, we're already using this here. And it's fairly clean, actually. We're also using it to prevent flipping over now, and it just works. So, I mean, first of all, should we do that? And I think yes, like yes, yes, yes. And second of all, should it be on this thing? And I think the answer is yes. We've already got prevent advance. This is only handling whether it should flip up or not. I know, kind of ridiculous, but the rest of this is like literally a data hub. So I think it makes sense. This is functionality, sort of. It is. So let's just do this. I'm going to say there's going to be a flag here that the Perl Effect Manager will manage. Very special. So special. And I think it's just, until I find a better way, I think this makes sense. Also, it is fairly clean. I'm only adding a little bit to what the prototype script is already doing. So we turned this effect off already. Here we are saying just stop. I'm just going to add to this. And this has worked in the past. I've already seen this work. So I'm just going to add the attack thing. And if I'm looking at this right, when do I say this is true? Okay, yeah, I make sure that this is true as I check the moves. So that's indicating to me. Let's look through the cards that we're supposed to affect. I mean, it really is this simple. It should be. All this garbage, I was like, I wonder if I can do it this crazy way. I mean, maybe, but let's just not go there, shall we? This says, of all the cards I'm supposed to affect, can we just prevent the attack? Okay, now, even though I just made that variable myself, I'm now setting it true and false. So I could use it. Let's see where I could use it now. Because like adding it here was pretty much easy. Here's the condition, whether it's going to advance or not. Add to that. Done. So I kind of need to find the same thing for the attack. I think this is okay. I'm confident. And along with saying, when do you update, these Perl effects also have this flag ready to go. It just makes sense. And I'm going to do a generalized thing. So it's not per individual effect. I'm just going to go look at the effect and see if we're supposed to prevent attack and prevent move. That's one of the things I'm going to do to revise this. Once we get through these first few Perl effects, and I think we're there. I think we're almost there. Let's look at this. Prototype battle script is doing stuff. Oh yeah. We're getting into, yeah, this is at the end of the battle stuff. Here we go. At the top of this, we say we are in battle. And this timer is managing basically the timing of the effects and allowing the player to see what's up. Here's our ensure the cards flip up, so we're already modifying that. But the timer is done and it's being reset. And potentially we collapse lanes. That's a very interesting. There's a function we'll look at later. There's another effect that prevents collapsing of lanes, and I'm already aware of that. So here's me doing my pattern, the safety. Well, we have to do this for checking out what's going on with the battle to see if we can collapse lanes. And here we are with cards that might be by themselves. This is a special case. But we are effectively skipping the rest of the battle. This is interesting. I'm getting to the part where we actually do battle. So first things first. Whose turn is it? Well, based on the battle order, it's one of the cards in the battle order, and they might be a player one card or not. That determines who is attacking. You see? We're right there at the top. We're figuring out who's attacking now. They pick a defender and off to the races. This does the whole calculation between power and defense and blah, 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 blah. All right, so right here, so here we are asking to assign an attacker. We have given an out to skip this battle turn. So battle cycle is all of the turns all the way through the battle order. A battle turn is one card attacking another card because they're all listed in that battle order and it goes through each of those battle orders in turn. So this is saying reset the battle turn to actually skip this so that we can get out of the battle cycle, I think is what's up, because there's only one card in the battle and they're alone is what's going on. These are special cases. Man, this is why I don't want to touch this script. It is a bit convoluted, to say the least. Lots of individual idiosyncratic things were handled. So I'm very carefully examining it before I do anything. By the time we get here and we picked a defender, I should have avoided anyone that was not flipped up. I should have avoided any attacking card that should be prevented from attacking. So I'm thinking this is where I got to do my stuff. Let me just look down here. We've got an attacker, an offender. They compare power and defense. They do damage. Damage done. And there's a potential for a luck win if one of the cards is defeated. And they calculate the luck win and play some effects. At the end of that, we might be at the end of the battle cycle. We might be at the end of the battle itself, the round. And so we're checking these things, and this all makes sense. Otherwise, we are going to increment the battle turn. Now, this is the garbage that I was trying before. We aren't at the end of the battle cycle, so advance the turn. This sort of implies that if we are at the end, we don't. Oh, it does reset it to 0. Okay. I mean, that makes sense, actually. It does it, though. I should never have touched that. Fine. All right. So I'm going to try and prevent attack by never allowing this. So here we are also incrementing turn. Interesting that we don't have a check to see if we've gone beyond the range. This must happen, because we're here at the end. This must happen when we do this battle cycle again. I'm going to go all the way up. Battle turn timer does its thing. Where are we checking to see? Here we go. So this happens at the top. As long as the battle turn timer is up, then we ensure we're within range. Of the battle order by setting it back to 0 if it's at the end. In fact, this is a check to say we are at the end of the battle cycle. So potentially stop, because there might be more cards to go into battle. So we actually present the button that says do battle. All right. So if I'm looking at this right, it looks like I can ignore this check because it's already done. I can just set this to the next turn, even if it's beyond or at the length of this, and I don't have to worry about it. This tells me it's okay as long as we get out of this and set the battle turn timer again. I believe the battle turn timer is already set. So it's one of these things where, oh, here I go. Here I'm setting the battle turn timer to 0 because I want it to immediately go to do something else and I get out. Okay, so I do that. This is me setting it to a longer time and getting out. Yeah, check this. This is a routine of me getting out of here because I want to collapse lanes and I'm giving extra time for that movement of lanes to collapse. That's what's going on. Doing this check more than once. It seems, oh, because I'm doing this craziness. Yeah, makes sense. So at the end of all of that, this is why I'm checking this, because I might only have one card. And that means that I shouldn't be doing any attacking. And there's no other defender, so get out. That's what this says. It says get out. Can I just say that? Can I just say, all right, who's going next? You're supposed to be the attacker? Hold up. Are you prevented from attacking? If so, get out. Like, don't even attack. That will handle preventing attacks. Preventing cards that aren't flipped over yet from being defenders, that's a separate issue. But that's also got to be right here. We are looking for a target. In fact, we're looking for this. So this is a separate routine because it's dealing with those marching orders, and I actually go look for the cards that match the marching orders. Can I also say, by the way, if it isn't flipped over, you should ignore it? Because we always check these marching orders. That would be nice, so that the one it considers for as a defender is not considered if it isn't flipped over. All right, then. This is in the battle script. The get target routine. Hi, can I? Yeah. All right. Based on marching orders and all of the battle data, go analyze it and figure out who they should attack. I suppose there is a potential to not find any card to attack. What do I do if that's true? Target index, if it equals -1, so we did not find a card to attack, then increment the battle turn. Okay. This will handle it gracefully, as it should. And then return. Yeah, so this gets out gracefully if it couldn't find it. So yes, I should do it this way. Take out any card that should not be attacked because it hasn't been flipped over yet. Yes, it's in battle. Ignore it anyway. That's what I'm going to try and say. In terms of this, I'm going to say, cool, you think you want to attack? Not if you're not supposed to. In fact, get out, because this will move it on to the next. This is only if there's only one left. That's not exactly what I want. What I want is something like this, actually. I actually need to can I just say battle turn timer is 0 or less than 0 or something? I can say 0. No, I need to give it some value. I don't want to touch this script at all, but I'm going to just work with what it has. A little bit of turn timer. I need it to skip. This doesn't just skip. This says stop because there's only one card and we're not doing any more battle. That's not exactly what I need. Oof. Am I going to break something if it's at the end of the battle order? Who knew battle could be so complicated? So I do want to detect if this is a bad card to attack. Let's do that first. Oh, you are the reference. Darn it. It's not terrible, but I should have. Now I realize I could have put this on the other one. Prevent attack. Prevent attack. Attack. What is it? Card flipper. What? Why can't I get this? What's up? Isn't it called card flipper? Bruh. What am I missing here? Prevent attack. Why is this not here? Why is this not here? This is the card referencer. Great. Go find the game object it's on. Cool. Now go find the card flipper. What am I missing? Wait, what? This. Like literally this. In what universe would I not be able to do this? What is this? Stop, 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 stop. Okay. Yeah, that. What was I doing? Why was that not valid a second ago? All right. Did you say get components? Is that what I had? Yeah. So, I want to just know. I just want to know. So let's just make it loud and warning. Bruh. Stop. Fumble keys here. I suppose I should know which one it is. Card name. Okay. So this should tell me if it found it and knows that it shouldn't attack. I mean, do I get bold and try to do this? I think so. I'm going to have to try it anyway, so. If it does that, do some things and see if this works. I believe I should be able to say battle turn timer is not 0, but something small. That way it runs and gets to the end. Also, yeah, that battle turn. Let's add to that because I want to skip this thing. I don't know if that works. And any card that is set to be the target. Well, let's go to the battle script. I know I'm testing more than one thing. It's a bad idea. I know. I know. Which one of these handy things actually does that? Yep. Okay. This has to do with the marching orders. Get target. And I want to exclude, and again, it's the card referencer I have. Dang, I almost want to, whatever. Found, return. Let's work backwards from this because this is actually the value it gives back. This is the card you should attack, right? Oh, goodness, I go through all of, yeah, because it's all marching orders. Wow, okay. So here we are. Okay, and this is the garbage I normally do. So this is based on found index. So let's work backwards. Found index is the thing we found because of all this. Oh, there's some random that happens if the values are equal. Lovely. And found index. And so we want to exclude those. We don't even want to do that. P2 cards and then just no. Yeah, I'm down actually. Looking at the card referencer right here, and I find it. This is a perfect place to say, yeah. So you found it? That's fantastic. Let's check. Here's me continuing because it's not in range. Perfect. Let's add to this. If there's no cards to attack, or because this means it's actually in battle, and we do have technically cards in battle, they're just not flipped up. This is getting messy, but it's going to be okay. If they're not in range, skip it anyway. And we say slightly messy. Because we want to say, go look at local variable that just is going to record this. Because while we're doing this, we need to be able to say get component. And Bob, as they say, is your uncle. So let's say this is player one doing that. We did this, this, and this. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Boom. Question mark. Skip it and do not record this as a card you may attack because it is not flipped up. Sounds about right. Okay, so what we've got is this comes back -1 if it couldn't find anything and handled gracefully. Otherwise, it just picked a different card. Defenders handled? Question mark. This is going to talk to us about if it's trying to skip a card from attacking. Now, this has nothing to do with whether it's flipped up or not. This is just, are you explicitly prevented from attacking? I'd like to think this is right. I'm not being lazy, you're being lazy. So here's what we got. We have reformed how we stop cards from attacking. So we're going to try this again with the ice drop. At that moment, we should see cards continue to be prevented from advancing because we saw that. And those cards that are flipped up, I'll do this again so that I can meet these two cards first. You should see cards prevented from attacking and being attacked. I'm going to keep an eye on this log, even though I'm going to throw it under the avatar. I literally would rather see some card action. Why is this not letting me resize it? What's up? Okay. All right. So they traded some blows. They're in battle. Drop the pearl. It's checking, it's checking, it's checking. Prevented from advancing. It can be attacked. Now, I really want to know, was it in the battle order and ready to be attacked? Here it is. Prevented from attacking. And so was this one, because it wasn't flipped up. Did this actually work? Nah, I'm not that lucky. Lightning Toad prevented from attacking because it's not flipped up. Fear Kestrel prevented from attacking because it was frozen. They were both prevented from attacking, so I guess it's really, they're both frozen. Let me look at the battle data on the prototype script to ensure that, although these cards had their attacks, immovable object in particular is slow. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 2 is at the end of the order. So they were prevented from attacking. They were not prevented from being attacked. We went all the way to the end of the battle order, and goodness me, there are no errors. What? I'm shocked. Did it even unfreeze them? It did. Holy moly. I'll, I'm going to call that a magic trick. So that even advanced them and turned them over properly and continued the battle. And oh my goodness, did this just totally work? Give me a break. Because now I kind of feel like, what am I missing? What went wrong? Can't prove a negative, and I can't see anything wrong. So I'm a little bit stuck. This is a good thing? Question mark. Okay, so I guess the answer is yes. Until I see a problem, good to go. Let's move on. Uh, those are the words of a junior programmer. That makes me feel so uneasy. I want to understand specifically why that worked so well. Dang, I don't want to be corralled into a pattern of just going in to modify the prototype script, because I guarantee you that's going to be far messier. Yet, my, that was so much easier. Oh, I can hear myself giving in to the ease. Give in to the ease. It was easy. Go with it. Okay, seriously, I think this actually worked. Uh, all right. Good job. Um, okay, and ending stream early because we're done. No, I'm serious. This is a little surprising. I definitely expect something to go wrong right about now. Let's just see what we can do. I'm going to I guess show off the visual effects for our second chance pearl that resurrects cards. Because we did do a little bit of that. Wow. I mean, really. I'll tell you something else we could do. Let me hover the pearl over the battle while it's going on, and I'll show you what I want to do next. Here we are, battle's going to happen. With the card, with the camera in place and the card's about to go into battle, I can do this. But watch me hover the pearl over the battle and look at the effects. You see that? The effects are on top. And in fact, even the card itself sort of the cards themselves went through the pearl and made your brain say, what? Because this is not 3D, not at all. All of that is faked with scaling and stuff. I just need to move this thing closer to the camera a little bit. So I dropped a second chance pearl. The next one to die will get some cool effects. Like that. And in fact, it needed to return. There it goes. It managed to attack because it was in battle order. Some details about that timing I want to fix. Actually, the data is correct. That's no consolation. It looks wrong. So I don't care if the data is correct, it looks wrong. So I'm going to have to tweak its appearance and the timing. Otherwise, yeah. What happened was the card got killed, and then it was immediately restored, which is what the pearl says it's going to do, actually. And that's right. The thing is, though, that it came up like next in the battle order, so it also attacked, even though the visualization of that card was gone. So the attack came from nowhere. Yes, there's some visual effects that show you there's a magical thing happening, but I don't know if that's good enough. In fact, I'm quite certain that's just not good enough. But the effects look better, yeah. Wow, I'm actually stumped because that totally worked. Not only did we get resurrection, but we have cards prevented from moving, attacking, flipping over, advancing. Like what? Oh, I'm not preventing them from the lane collapse yet. That's something. But wow, that worked way too well. I'm still freaking out about that. But let's go with it. Um, and I am going to make this more general. Like any card that needs to be prevented from attacking, we'll just do this. Done. Um, not just Ice Drop, but any of them. We are here. This literally worked. We aren't preventing from adding to battle, actually. But we are preventing flip. Wow, that I'm still freaking out. That actually worked. Okay, good. The things we have left to do on these early Pearl effects are to prevent the lane collapse. There's one Pearl in particular that makes use of this, but I'm also concerned that the Ice Drop should also prevent lane collapses, perhaps. There's one Pearl that explicitly prevents lane collapse. That's what it's meant to do. And that introduces a whole bunch of questions. If some cards are prevented from lane collapse, as the Ice Drop would do, what happens to the rest of the cards? Instead, it's so much cleaner to say the lane is blocked. So, of course, it's not going to collapse. That's what the Pearl does. And therefore, I can just say, do not collapse lanes. This lane is not empty. This would be Jade Wall. This erects a solid wall of jade where don't I know Valorant, I know. This erects a solid wall of jade wherever the ranks are divided. Once this pearl drops, the next open battle lane will immediately fill. So it doesn't really matter where you drop it. It will immediately fill. In other words, you can't miss an open lane. It'll fill with a wall that prevents closing of ranks for 3 battle cycles. After that time, the wall disappears. So there's a couple of things this effect needs to do. One is to count to 3, because it's going to go through battle cycles, and this update on battle cycle needs to count 1, 2, 3. At that time, it can undo its effect, and all is well. And do I have, oh, I have a mechanism in the data that says which battle cycle it was dropped at, and that's how I'm going to do it. Because it is a jade wall, it will check this number to see if the current battle cycle is 3 more, and if so, stop the effect. Okay. All right. So do we prevent move? Do we prevent attack? Not explicitly, no. And in fact, when it comes to the question of which cards does this affect, all of them. Or perhaps None of them? Okay, we're absolutely going to update on battle cycle end. We don't care about move. But, and by the way, what it does when you prevent the collapse of lanes is it prevents cards from getting in range to attack. So, yeah. Does it prevent move? No. Actually, it does not. This effect only needs to check and update on battle cycle to know when to stop and undo the effect. We are going to now think about where in the prototype battle script do we, what's the safe, easy way, like we just did? Can we find a safe, easy way to, I'm just shocked. I'm like cleaning this up and going like, can I clean this up? All right. Answer's yes, I can clean this up. Wow, man. So I'm now looking at Jade Wall. Jade Wall battle cycle update. And I'll do my thing here. I'm not really sure what that is yet. It has something to do with the effect having a battle cycle dropped time and knowing what the current battle cycle is. Do I know what the battle... Ooh, I do. Because it is a Jade Wall, I'm looking for this condition. We were dropped at, say, battle cycle 1. Is it now battle cycle 4? Sorry, this is backwards. Yep. Yes. I do have to get over it. At some point, these are meant to get easier to do. Like, as I get through the tough stuff, these effects should be easier to make. And I'm hesitating because I'm like, this is way too easy. I'm sure I'm going to run into some problems, but like, yes. Now I need to do things when I make the wall and put the wall down. I don't have a wall, actually. I don't have any art. But I can definitely prevent a lane collapse. I don't think I have anything to do on Jade Wall, actually. So, I will look at the code that collapses the lane. Now I know it begins with a card saying, I'm stuck out in the middle of nowhere. I need these lanes to collapse so I can rejoin the battle. That's how that process starts. And that's in the attack routine. I mean, actually, we were just looking at it. And that's true. And also, there is a function to check to see where the lanes are empty. So, one, a card says, please collapse the lanes. But then two, it goes and checks to see which lane is empty. I'm not sure I can prevent all lanes from collapsing. Actually, I think what I mean to say is it would be easier if I needed to prevent all lanes from collapsing. Instead, this pearl needs to prevent the first lane that opens from collapsing. I'm screwed. So how do I know which lane that is and where that is? I was thinking perhaps the position. See, I don't want to keep just adding data because it's a new Perl. This is just going to make it too much. But I know I can use this position. The effect can lock on to a position that references a lane. In fact, it's the Y position. The same Y position where cards would be, so that it knows which lane is blocked with the jade wall. So I know where to put the jade wall. So when it looks to see if the lane is empty, this is there and says, no, no, it's not empty. There's a wall here. I think I got this. So I need to be able to say, go find the next lane that is open. Actually, that is happening at the end of the battle cycle. All right. Oops, I'm wrong script, doing the wrong thing. So this is, the effect is done. Else? So I need to say, have you set the position of the wall? It's the Y position. And if I haven't, I need to be able to detect that. When I initialize a jade wall, I can say, throw this Y position to some weird place. It doesn't matter where it was dropped. Make sure I don't consider this to be a valid number. Yeah, so it gets an X and a Y. That's nice, but let's ignore it immediately. So we use the X and the Y to play the visual effects, and then it is actually placed on the effect itself. So as part of the routine to initialize, which I am currently putting off, but I think I need an initialization step, perform an immediate effect. It's going to do for now. I'm going to say, yeah, this is a jade wall. No, this is doing stuff on cards. It doesn't do anything to the Pearl effect. Yeah, I need to initialize the Pearl effect. Damn. Bruh. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just I can't avoid it any longer. I actually need to do this. This gives me a Pearl effect. Given a Pearl effect. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? There is confusingly a class called Pearl effects. That's dumb. I shouldn't do that. Not at all. So now I can play with this, and in case it is something I need to pay attention to, bruh. Like Jade Wall. But I'm going to use this for other things. I've already thought about using it, and I'm now like, oh, I have to use it here. So this is, please make this Y position something absolutely insane. Because now I know this is not placed. And I can detect that. So this is, initially, it is where the pearl was dropped, and that makes some sense. For lots of pearls, that is going to be necessary that you aim your pearl well. In this case, no, don't care. I'm just reading this effect data here, so it's okay. Okay. Do I need to do anything else with this? So it sits around and sits around and sits around. At the end of every battle cycle, it checks to see, hold on, is there a new open lane? And wow, if the round ends, this has to go away. I don't know if this goes away automatically. Do all effects get removed at the end of the round no matter what? Yes, they do. Wait, this is the battle data. Do the effects get redone? I wonder. I'm gonna. We perform a cleanup if we've changed the round. Yep. We automatically clean up. So I don't need to do anything else. Whoops. So, okay. Um, this is us removing Jade Wall. This is us constructing the Jade Wall, which we don't have yet. We don't have that. So we sit around, we check, and we check, and we check, and as soon as there's an open lane, we set this position, which means we won't set any new walls. It's just one. And we should not remove this yet. The Jade Wall should construct and then be around for 3 battle cycles. Whoops. So this is actually backwards. What I mean to say is first check to see if we have set this. And if not, set it. Otherwise, skip. So if we haven't set it yet, we don't care about this. If we have set it, I actually need to set this. Return effect. Because I'm setting a value, not reading it. Battle cycle dropped. This is going to be changed now because it's not actually the cycle it was dropped. It's the current battle cycle. Done. So it will end at the appropriate time. And clean up. I don't need that. I know what I'm doing. Okay. So how can I test this? I can't yet. I mean, I can see some text, but I can know that it's sitting there checking, but I don't know that it's detected anything yet. Boy, if I'm really lucky, this is a public function. You know, if I were lucky. So this literally is the helper script to help it look at each lane. The reason why I did it on a separate script is because there's actually quite a bit of calculation based on what round and the spacing between cards and blah, blah, blah. It looks for cards at this Y position based on the round and blah, 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 blah. So it looks for open lanes. And I think it scans a number of lanes based on a variable because it changes how many lanes are currently there in battle. Boy. So this is asked to collapse lanes. And at first it looks to see which lanes to collapse, and it stores that. No, this has already been stored. Okay. So that's literally just performing the collapse. Makes sense? Where do I fill that array, though, of lanes to collapse. You know, if it were easy, everyone would do it, right? I have to be adding to this array somewhere. And if there aren't any lanes to collapse, it doesn't collapse. That makes sense. It only does it at the end of the battle order. That's good to know. That's exactly what we thought it was. All right. Where are we at then? Can I prevent lanes from being added to this array? Here we are. Stranded card in battle is the beginning of us looking at empty lanes to collapse. So sure enough, here we are. We're going to work with this. So here we are, right? And it's based on cards that we see. This is lane empty is the key. And it comes back, so we're looking through all the potential lanes that there are based on the round, minus the lanes that have already been collapsed. So this is very messy, but it's necessary. And it's handled in the prototype battle script, of course. It's based on a couple of variables. There could have been lanes collapsed already. We are in a particular round. And so there are a number of lanes that's absolutely arbitrary. I don't have access to any of this data from the Perl Effect Manager. So the question becomes, can I tell the prototype battle script there is something in the way at this position? That would almost be this functionality at this point. Go look through what lanes are supposed to be there, minus the ones that have already collapsed, and see if it's empty. If it is, quick, fill it in with our thing, and tell the prototype script that it's actually not empty. So that's communication back and forth. I'm sad now because that's not what I really want this to be clean, and this is telling me it's guaranteed to be messy because I don't have access to this data, and I need this script to understand something brand new that this effect will know. So this is a tangled web. Right here, it would be awesome if at the end of this routine, I not only am able to set this, but this understands that there's a lane that looks like it's empty, except it's not. And so this array doesn't get filled with things. This is adding to the array, and it's not added to. This is copying the lanes to collapse that are already there because it could be more than one. And this is adding the one we found. So this determination, we must collapse the lane. happened because this condition was false. This is both, it is not the first lane and it's not the last lane. Because this edge stuff we don't collapse. There's no reason to collapse a lane if it's on the edge. By the same token, we should not collapse a lane if it's being blocked by a jade wall. Boy, that'd be nice. Boy, that would be really nice. Well, also by the same token, it shouldn't do this if this is not empty. So it either makes sense to add a thing here that has, you know, jade wall, right? Or we never get there because this function understands there's a jade wall. We don't call this function unless this is happening. This is the time when we would add to the lanes potentially to collapse. It's almost like this is the event that I should be cooking into. Let me explain. It's much better to look for an event to trigger a series of execution because that event, if it's a good one, is the only time that execution needs to happen, and any checks down the road are unnecessary because this is the time. Instead of saying, hey, on a timer-based schedule, go check and see if these conditions are true, you're just waiting for the event. So in terms of our effect manager, this is a good thing. If I can use this instead, I mean, I don't call this function anywhere else. True? True. And therefore, this is an event I could and should hook into. Because if I can make sure this returns false for a jade wall, I can do two things. I can make the jade wall and set this number and set that time. And I can tell it, nope, 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 jade wall here. It requires communication because it's an event. It's triggering something going on here. Yeah, it's messy as all get out because either I use this event and then go see if there's a jade wall waiting to go, which I guess that's not a big deal. Or, yeah, actually that makes sense. But also when this thing is checking to see if the jade wall is still up, wow, this is a special set of functions to communicate between these two scripts. And I've been trying to avoid that. I've been trying to avoid that. Yet, I mean, it is a special thing. Also, I don't want to mess with this script so much. So, yes, I need to do this. So we're collapsing lanes, we're advancing cards. Is this lane empty? This is it. This is also the place where I know where the Y position is. This makes sense. Oh, it makes sense, though. It really does. To keep it from being too messy, I will at least make stuff over here. Wait, how much communication do I need from this Perl Effect Manager? I mean, None, right? I'm deciding where the communication is going to go. I know I need to do something here. At this moment, yes, I've already modified this particular function once. Based on all the cards, that's what I'm doing, right? This is going to be interrupted. Um, prevent empty. Not Englishing, but I don't care. So this is me asking, hey, is there a jade wall at this location? This location. This location? What is this? Y position and the lane. Card is not dead, and these are equal. So this is the lane. This is the card position. Okay, so lane is lane. I'm also going to look for is index lane and wall in the same position, right? And then this is false. So I need to go ask the Perl manager. Okay. Boy, that's a special thingy. I'm wincing because I don't want there to be too many special thingies. I'm just going to be ballooning the scope of this, but whatever's. This initializes it. And what the heck? Let's just do this here. I need a public function that returns true or false. This is literally only for the jade wall. I guess I could say if lane position blocked. Right now, the only thing that can do that is a jade wall. Potentially in the future, there are other things that could do the same mechanism, but like for a longer time or something. So I need to give it a Y position. And the return value is simply yes or no. Let's say it's not locked by default. And now we check that. This is literally because this is only used in the determination of detecting collapse. The Y position representing lane. And then there's, of course, a new consideration that I just thought of. What if another lane opens up and cards shift? Now this position also shifts. If I set this position once and never again, this will be incorrect the next time there's a lane that needs to be checked. It's almost like I need to put a fake card there. It's almost like I need to put a fake card there. How effective would that be? Look at all of the card referencers. Now that would mess up lots of things, actually, if I stuck in something that isn't supposed to be there. Yes, that would mess up lots of things. Card not dead. Yeah, that's messy as heck. I can't just fake a card there. Wow, but I do want to consider that when I refactor. That's just too obvious. I will need to review that later. Because yes. So okay. I think that's going to break this. If I have a single place where I place the jade wall, I guess I could prevent all collapse. That's not what the jade wall is supposed to do. If there's, say, a 5-lane battle and I block lane 2, but then lane 4 opens up, it should collapse. Lanes 3 and 5 should collapse together. The jade wall's at lane 2, so yeah. I guess what I could do is say, whenever you do move some cards because the thing is collapsing, update this effect and reset that. I have to. I don't have a choice. I think that's true. But that means the jade wall moves. Oh. God. The jade wall cannot move. Yeah, this is also why a fake card wouldn't work. Because the jade wall cannot move. This would not work. So what's up? Let's say like I have a 5-lane battle is actually a good example. Here are jeez, dude. Bruh. I'm trying to like just use this as text, please. So yeah, here's 5 lanes. And I put a jade wall here. This will be detected as not empty, so it doesn't collapse these lanes. And when lanes collapse, they all move. They all move together, like towards each other. But this is prevented, and that's fine. Now this one goes away. So what should happen is these come together in the middle. This should not move, and neither should that. I don't have any kind of mechanism to do that right now. They all move when the lane collapses. All right. At the moment, jade walls are going to yeah. Jade wall is going to prevent all lane collapses. That is not the effect. That's another thing. I mean, this I'm going to say fix me because I can just do this. If what is the name of this thing? I need to go find object of type. I don't think I have this effect, do I? Effect, vector. Yeah, this is going to work, sort of. Because while I am able to get the result of no collapse, it actually means no collapse. And for most cases, actually, this you won't even know the difference. The Jade Wall will go down in 3 rounds and for 3 battle cycles, and that's it. Is this what? Oh, this is messy. No. I see. I'm looking through all the cards because they are set in their own lane. And I see if that lane is empty. I mean, yeah. But, um, so we prevent it. But we actually prevent. Okay, so this is only preventing the collapse of the lane where this is in. Except from here, we're just going to say it's false. I mean, that's not what we're supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go look through all the effects. And this is a Jade Wall, right? And there could be other cases too. But right now it's just Jade Wall. Yeah, I need to set this as well, but this is literally. Is this blocked? Is the question. It's used here to say if it's blocked, then this is false. So it's a little bit backwards, but you get the idea. So it's sort of. So, right. This is shit. Excuse me. Because this will fail immediately when another lane opens. Right. And so that's garbage. But also we need this. We need this. Similar. I mean, here's the problem. I'm now going to say, is this an initialized and invalid y position? Great. Now that means we should set it to this. Great. Done. Except now, as soon as that is done, this won't work. Because if I need to reset it because of whatever, in fact, this is like initially construct jade wall. This is messy, and I'm looking at this right now and shaking my head because this is one Perl's effect. How? No, no. I'm. This is going to get really bad if I go down this road. Maintaining it, for one thing, but also, man, this is so bad. I need to call this and set the position when the other function detects that there's an open lane. I mean, here's the thing. There's a whole lot of communication back and forth. This knows when there's an open lane, and so it really should say, hey, Perl Effect Manager, do you have a jade wall waiting to be set? Perl Effect Manager says, why, in fact, I do. Then this thing says, great, set it here. So that's a whole lot of communication back and forth. And that's just to construct it. Then we say, hey, Perl Effect Manager, is there a jade wall in this lane that I think is open? And the Perl Effect Manager says, yeah, there's a jade wall there. Okay, cool. Then I will call it blocked. Hey, Perl Effect Manager, did you know we're going to be collapsing some lanes even though you're up? So you stay there while we collapse other lanes. Where are you? Well, I'm over here, and there could be other cards. In fact, I know there's going to be a card on the other side of me, and so hold off moving that one card and move all the other cards. This is so messy. I knew this was going to be a challenge. The Jade Wall idea, I was like purposely going for something that was going to be like very edge of what I could do with this core battle gameplay and a special effect. Right now, I'm going to say this is just going to prevent all collapse. And I'm going to do that by just saying, true. I mean, it is blocked. If there is a jade wall at all. If there's a jade wall on the battlefield, you cannot collapse lanes. Now, that is not what the Perl effect says. And I don't want to change the rule to fit what I can do technically. That's garbage. But if I can get there, I will. There you go. And this is Yeah, until then, I can't uncomment that. And hey, setting the wall position to something that makes some sense. Yeah, we found an open lane. This is me checking to see if, okay, is it already blocked? Yeah. Or is this blocked because there's a jade wall? Yeah. Or, in other words, it's open. Is lane empty? Yes, it is empty. And is this blocked? No. So this is open. So if that's true, then I want to use the fact that this hasn't been set yet. Correct. This has not been set yet. Correct. And this is where this is all going to fail, but I'm going to go with it. It is not initialized. Okay. And so blocks everything. In other words, 999 really is just, have we placed a wall or not? It makes no difference where it is. I'm just going to prevent all collapse. And this, I can say, so this means you have the potential to have a jade wall that's ready to go because it's initialized. This came back false. This is true, and this is false. So this whole condition is false, so we're here. I guess this could be false. Like it's blocked. Okay, so let's count for that. And now we're going to say cool, because what I would like to do is, no, is this empty? So this is actually empty. Okay, so if this is empty then, that means we have not set the jade wall, but it's empty. Cool. So let's do the special thing and set this. I am shaking my head. This is so not where I wanted to go with this. It might work. And if it does, I'm going to be sad that I just made more messy stuff to clean up later. And by the way, because we set a jade wall, no, hold on. We can't assume that we're trying to set a jade wall. That's actually rare. Let's give a bit of feedback so we know what to do with this. Er, er, er. So if we actually wanted to set a jade wall, we set it and we come back with some feedback. That's good to know because I don't just want to do this. I want to do this if, right? Okay. What do I have here? Wow, I just deleted a curly bracket. Dangerous. Is this all messed up? Sort of. Okay. So this needs to be, yes, this lane was empty. And yes, we did set a wall position because that's what this is going to say. And if that's true, then no, this lane is no longer empty. That makes sense. But it has to be that rare case of we were sitting around waiting to set the jade wall. Wow. All right. Let's start making some feedback for us so we can test this. And then we'll test. And I'm totally sad about this. I'm glad that we got some other things working today, but this is messy. This should totally prevent all lanes from collapsing because it's not empty. It prevents all lanes from collapsing though, and that is incorrect. This should set the jade wall in place, and that's good. The only thing I need to do is take the jade wall away. When it's done, this is not correct anymore because we do this with an event, not on time. I need to do this somewhere else. So all I'm doing is waiting for it to come down. All right. I'm not making messy code. You're making messy code. Ugh. All right. Well, I mean, it's event-based. There's some positives here. It's just, man. I mean, I can only imagine what happens when I move on and start doing more Perl effects, and I start coming up with more reasons why I need to balloon the code to get it to work. I'm going to be really sad. Now let's just glance ahead. Doing Jade Wall now. Confusion Curse asks cards to attack their friendlies and not the foes. That's interesting. Definitely need to tweak the well, I'm going to have to tweak the routine that finds the target. I'm not even sure how that works, actually. That's a big challenge. because I make big assumptions about you and the opponent in battle. Who's the attacker, who's the defender, and all that. That's actually a big question. This Mega Blast is literally pump up the power, make a big charge, reduce the back power again. So this is nothing more than a stat change. Done. This is nothing more than holding holding cards and attacking. So that's actually done. Lava Bomb, it means do attacks based on where the card is in battle. And again, we have checks for movement and for attack, and so we're going to be able to do attacks on cards. So this is also kind of done. We're going to have the data of where the pool is and blah, blah, blah. Confusion Charm. This is one card attacking another. Again, that's the same thing we just looked at above. Reduce luck, increase defense, hold, move slower. No, lower their speed. Hold and do damage. Reduce luck. This has to do with the battle order. Nope, it just changed stats. Done. This is going to sit around. This pearl drop sits around, and the effect waits for the next pearl to drop if it does in this round. It's a very bizarre effect, but what it does is that then turns around all of the opponent's pearl effect on themselves, as if you dropped it. That might not be too crazy, actually. Sit around, wait for a pearl drop, and as soon as you detect another pearl drop, take it over and remove yourself as if you dropped it. Okay, that's actually not too hard. This is specifically removing hit points regardless of attacks. This is poison. I think that's straightforward. Adjust the battle data. Attack. Prevented from moving. Prevent from attack for 3 battle cycles. Big defense. Resurrection. No. Hit points. Oh, all their stats are raised. Jeez, right. Huge stat boost. This transfers damage into hit points. That's new, but I think it's just manipulating battle data. And in other words, this actually doesn't scare me. It is different, but it's not crazy. This is attacks. Yep. Just attacks. This adds to the battle cycle and has them, I guess in some way, I want your cards to be able to attack twice that battle cycle. What I might be able to do is actually do an extra battle cycle where I discount all of the other cards. Actually, that's the easy way to do it. I'm going to do it that way. This raises stats. Okay, so it actually does double damage. Okay, so that I would absolutely need to do something special in the battle script. But that's not too bad. We were already at 32. Look at this. We're at 32 and we've only added 1 extra. Maybe 2 extra special ones. Change stats and prevent a luck win. So this is also special because this would interrupt a luck win and have it bounce back. I like that one. Okay, I'm trying to convince myself this isn't as bad as it looks because right now it looks terrible going through like the first 6 or 7 pearls, and I've already run into many cases where I've been wildly adjusting. That's not true. I'm being harsh. I'm adjusting the battle script and I don't want to. Um, it's actually minor adjustments so far. I should get over it. Okay, here's the deal. I need to test, and I'm going to end stream because it's already been a couple hours. What we did magically was got our ice drop to work. Our resurrection second chance pearl works. All the boost cards, sorry, all the boost pearls work. And so, I mean, I guess progress, right? We made progress. Yeah, this one works. So which one are we looking at? We're looking at Jade Wall. Oh, we don't have it on this account. Jade Wall. Does Doggo have it? Nope. Does our new is that Jade Wall? There we go. Okay. So this is supposed to be a wall, and we can see the wall, so it wouldn't make sense to prevent all lanes collapsing. Man, I guess I could just adjust the description of this thing, but I think that's really dumb. I should be able to figure this out. All right. Fine. Fine. Right. I'll figure it out. For now, however, I need to hold on to this pearl until such time where I'm going to get a lane collapse. I don't think it's going to happen this round. I think I need to wait. So testing this thing is a bit of a pain. We did get resurrection to work. We got all the boosts to work. That's nice. We got ice drop to work, including holding cards, preventing them from attacking. This is already proving out to be like why we have pearl drops at all. It does change the battle. It's very powerful. And then they have a big cooldown to balance it out. All good. I think we can do Jade Wall. Suppose I could cheat and make sure that we do an open lane. Let's try that. I'm going to try and cheat. All right. I'm going to look for hit points I can adjust. Yes. Could try and open this lane, I guess. Sure. So this thing has like 1 hit point. Can I get my cards to attack it? Let's go for the most health. That'll do it. How's that? Oh, I'm sitting here paused. There we go. And yeah, attack the one with the most health. That'll take out that one. Oh, it doesn't have most health. It quite literally has the least health. In fact, it does. So that should take it out, open up the lane, and we should see some feedback. No. There we go. Okay. So we got, oh shoot. Um, yeah, see, there was no card stranded and asking for the lane to collapse. This is going to take forever to test. Uh, this is a very weird pearl. It's only going to do something in the instance that there is an open lane to collapse. You have to have the pearl and you have to have dropped it. Lane collapses don't happen all the time. I definitely I can see the tactical advantage to having this. It's rare though. Shit. Excuse me. So I don't know how to test this right now. I don't. It would have looked at that as a situation to collapse lanes, yes. Yeah, I'm not sure how to test this cleanly yet. I need to set it up so that it can be tested consistently, and I don't have that. I'm gonna have to think hard on that. Yes. Um, I suppose it's good enough to end now, right? Surprise stream for 2.5 hours. That's pretty good. I mean, I'm happy about it. You're happy about it. We're all happy about it. Anyway, if watching the VOD, missing out on the jungle sounds and jungle music, you should follow on YouTube. You should follow on Twitch. You should show up on stream and make yourself known, and we can do things. It's good. Yes, okay. Take care. Be well. Do well. See ya.